mixing, fixing for another big game. It's the coach. This is NFL football on EA Sports. Coming up, we'll see running back Joe Mixon coming off a 100-yard performance a week ago, as it'll be the Cincinnati Bengals as they get set to match up against the Pittsburgh Steelers. I'll join you again at halftime to look at some of these stats and scores from earlier this afternoon. But for now, it's Sunday Night Football. And on the call, as always, Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
All right, Coach. EA Sports coverage of the NFL brings us to the steel capital of the world, Pittsburgh, PA, and Heinz Field. Nothing like the fanfare of introductions to an NFL game, and that was in evidence a moment ago. Fireworks, pyrotechnics, you name it. This crowd is ready as their guys get set to match up between the Cincinnati Bengals and the Pittsburgh Steelers. Set to go now in Week 6 of the NFL season, and we are underway on EA Sports. To return, it's Cam Sutton. And he'll get it up past the 20 to the 22-yard line. So the Steelers offense getting set for their first drive. At a glance here at their quarterback standing 6'3".
And what I enjoyed watching this week when we had a chance to watch them at practice, the easy camaraderie that he has with his offense.
A lot of respect.
A lot of respect, and frankly, I thought it spilled over to the defense. The defensive guys were coming over and teasing and joking with him. You can tell they respect the heck out of him and really want to play well for him.
All right, here we go. 3-19.
They'll try and start this drive in the air. This is caught by Antonio Brown. And he's taken down, but able to slip across the 35. That play going for 16 yards to start the drive. First down. And we see the emphasis early here. Get your star receiver involved, able to do it successfully.
Not a bad start to begin with, that's for sure. And to me, this play says our guy is better than your guy's. Because, you know, a player of his stature, he won't just be single covered all game.
And a big loss here as he's taken down. Well, they were coming out of the 4-3 defensively. Pressure coming off that right side from the DN.
And that's the blind side of most quarterbacks. If you're right-handed, that's the side you don't see quite as well. And that's why you rely on your left tackle, maybe your highest-paid offensive lineman, to take care of you. In this situation, that didn't happen.
They get 2 yards back, but they're going to need a lot more than that here on third down.
Partner, we know today's NFL is really built around the guy throwing the football. But these short runs, they still pay dividends because they can take their toll on a defense, and they can add up as the game goes along. You control the clock, you control the ball, and that way you often control the game.
Now he'll dump it underneath to his running back, complete. And he'll get it out near the 40 to the 39. 14 yards, but they're still well shy of a first as that leads to fourth down. Instead of throwing it downfield, Charles, they just tried to dump it underneath there. Do you like the call?
I do. I think it's a high-percentage play because you get the completion, and what you're counting on is your back to use his legs and his elusiveness to make people miss and pick up the first down. In this case, it didn't happen.
So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38.
Watch it now, Barney, Barney.
They'll come out throwing here on first down. That's complete to John Ross. And he's going to get this down to the 35-yard line. A very solid gain of 27.
The goal for any offense versus a zone defense, find the holes where guys are available and put the ball on the receiver before any defender can step up and fill it.
They did it well there. Perfectly executed crossing route. They'll set up a throw. Oh, he's got a man wide open, complete. And he gets this one inside the 15, just a yard or two shy of the 10. 23 yards on the play.
Brandon, I think we can see early on they're making a concerted effort to get him the football. So to me, that means they like the matchup that they have. They feel like he's better than the guys that are covering him. 2
plays, 2 passes. We'll see if they go back to that route. And this is incomplete. Tyler Boyd, the former Pitt Panther, was the target. And that'll bring up second down.
Defensively here, you're facing a top 5 team in terms of points scored in the NFL. So when they're that high powered, you've got to find a way to hold them under 20. Because to me, that's the magic number. 20 points scored gives yourself you give yourself your best chance to win.
So if they're up around 24, 28, 30, they could be in some trouble.
And I think so, because then you turn it into a shootout. And that means your offense has to keep pace.
And he'll take this one inside the 10, down to the 8. Call it about a gain of 3, and they'll be looking at a 3rd and 7 coming up. And on 3rd down, a nickel formation here defensively. They'll set up to throw. He dropped it. Couldn't hang on in the end zone. So no 6 points, incomplete.
The beauty of being able to play a zone defense when you can sit back and see the ball coming out of the quarterback's hands, guess what? Creates a lot of confusion, kind of a muddle in the middle of the field where you can go make a play on the football.
A lot of energy in this building tonight, but the opening drive produces 3, maybe quiets them just a bit, at least momentarily.
Just a little, right? That's all you're asking for, right? Things just getting started. You know they haven't taken the momentum totally here, but at the same time, they like what they've done here in the early going.
Out comes the Steeler offense now, ready to see what they can do here. They punted last time they had it. What steps, Charles, do you think they have to take to make sure they don't do that again?
Well, let's just go to the football 101, the trite expression 101. Win first down. Make 5, 6, 7 yards on first down and make it a 2nd and 3, 2nd and manageable. Keep accumulating first downs that way. Keep moving the football.
And he'll be wrapped up around the waist and pushed down. Andrew Billings coming up the middle, gets him there for a loss of about 9.
Tremendous read and reaction by the defensive tackle. And frankly, partner, it's not that often the DTs have that type of easy access back to the quarterback. Never brought the play-action fade.
And the reinforcements come in as they're going to stop him behind the line. It's a loss of 4. Now 3rd down.
Yeah, that was a safety that came through and made the play. But there's no doubt in my mind, he hits like a linebacker, and we see a lot of that in today's NFL, don't we?
And that time we do indeed. A big hit for a loss. And he'll be out of bounds right around the 14. 4 yards on the pickup, and that'll bring up 4th down. A really nice catch, but bottom line, that should have gone for more yardage.
Give him a pass in the flat that allows him to get upfield. There's plenty of distance between him and all the defenders. Actually cost himself some yardage there. Yeah, they got the completion, but it could have been so much more.
Great blocking on the return. It springs him for 25. And the Bengals will take over in terrific field position. Cincinnati now ready to take the field. And they had 3 points last time, but they didn't want 3 points because they were well within range of scoring a touchdown. We'll see if they can do better now.
I'm with you on that one. Let's just go ahead and be frank about the whole thing. The only one happy about the 3-point
kicker.
Exactly. You put it through the post. That's going to help him at contract time. But that offense, they're thinking, let's get in the end zone this time.
I don't know if that helped him at contract time. You could have kicked that one through.
I don't know about that.
Toe bash.
I don't know about that.
Toe bashed it.
Super toe.
The Bengals hoping Mixon improves on the numbers from his rookie year. He's back there again on first down. Now on first down, he'll drop to throw it. And it's incomplete. Took a shot, couldn't connect.
Tremendous field position there and a perfect time to do exactly what they did. Take a shot at the end zone. And they went for the big play, just unable to complete it.
Line of scrimmage, the 31 as they line up 2nd and 10. On second down, here's Mixon. And that play going absolutely nowhere as he's belted before he could get out of the backfield. It'll go as a loss of a yard, and it'll set up 3rd down.
He has elite instincts from his linebacker spot. He's able to diagnose the run and flies in like a missile to stop that one behind the line of scrimmage.
They're going to look to throw. He's going to fire one deep, middle of the field. And that will fall incomplete. Oh, they took a shot there on what will turn out to be. And the first play will be a field goal try. The wind is at his back here in the second quarter. And this is right down the middle as he puts it through. And that will make it 6-0. So scores on their first two possessions, but 6-0, so field goals probably not what they were hoping for.
Man, you're exactly right about that. Not what they were hoping for, but they should be happy that they have points on the board. It almost feels like that old slow and steady wins the race, doesn't it? In this case, though, they want to be slow and steady now, but get explosive later and put the points up on the board.
And we put our focus now on Le'Veon Bell. And we check the rushing numbers so far here into Week 6, and the returns have been really good. Now, you're starting to hit that stride middle of the season toward the end. They're certainly hoping they can keep up this production.
They are, because one of the adages in the NFL is that defense travels and defense endures even in bad weather, right? You know what else does? A good running game. And people want that, especially as you head down the stretch. You may play outdoors in some nasty stuff. You're trying to get to the playoffs. This is the time to get it going. And individually, I don't think you should just think about 1,000 yards either. The bar has to be set higher with this beginning.
On second down, it's Bell. And he'll wind up losing yardage here back at the 21-yard line. It'll be a loss of a full 3 yards there, and it also brings up third down.
Some of these play calls, I think they're a little conservative, but you know me, because it's easy to sit up in this booth, right, and make all the calls and think I'm going to be correct. I would like to see them open things up, because otherwise this defense is going to gang up on the run and shut them down.
So they pick up 10, but it'll still lead to a fourth down.
So much about this game is just understanding situations and then having to execute, isn't it? Guard the first down sticks. Don't let them get there. And they rallied and made the tackle.
Ross on the return.
Illegal block in the back. Return team.
So this will be accepted as it moves the offense backwards. So the special teams penalty cost some yardage there as they come out on 1st and 10. They'll look to throw now on 1st down. To the left side here for Eifert. And they'll bring him down at the 27-yard line. A gain of 6 there on 1st.
Brandon, perfect defense in this situation would have meant that there was an incompletion. They would have picked it off. Okay, so they gave up the completion. But I really enjoyed watching how the defense stayed in sync, stayed in great communication, and as he dragged across each...
Pressure comes, and the Steelers take him down. Cameron Hayward. He's the one that got to him. He takes him down for a loss of 9.
Sometimes I watch games and wonder why they use play fakes on certain passing situations, because it's not going to fool anyone. I don't know if that was the case here, but the end result was the same. No one fooled. Quarterback was hit.
He's going to fire one deep over them. And got his man complete. And all the way down to the 36-yard line. A big third down play there for the Bengals. 46 yards.
Now, that play will end up on the highlights, and you'll see it all over the place. But what you won't see, the offensive line that bought the extra time, that allowed for the big completion downfield. Those guys...
Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Stephon Tuitt, the former Notre Dame man, in there to sack him for a loss of 6.
I know there would be a little bit of criticism there because they went right back to the air after the huge pickup and ended up getting sacked. That's often a play that you make. You feel like you've got momentum on your side.
Unfortunately, the O-line failed to hold up to try to keep that momentum going. Here's a give to Mixon. Not much there. Maybe a couple as he's taken down at the 40. Now, the Bengals on 3rd down. Just 1 for 3 thus far. This is 3rd and 14. A handoff to Mixon. And all the way in for a Cincinnati score. A great play there, hitting double digits with his 10th touchdown of the season. And the Bengals are able to grow their lead. And on that long run, maybe the defense caught napping a little bit.
The concentration level may not have been there. I agree with you on that one, because those types of plays, when they result like that, they're almost like big bolts of lightning, aren't they? Whoosh, and off he goes.
And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. And Le'Veon Bell making his way back out onto the field now. They've given him some touches. They haven't had a lot of success on the ground. Do you maybe keep going to that well, or do you mix it up more?
I think you mix it up more, try and loosen things up. Get the defense to react to other people, other plays, but don't forget about it. That's your horse. You know, Secretariat lost twice in his career.
So educational. That's very true, kids. Look it up. And he's taken down, but able to slip across the 35. A gain of 11 to kick off the drive, and it's a quick first down. So from the 36 now, 1st and 10. 2 minutes to go here in the first half. Back to Heinz Field after this. Coming up at the half, a reminder, we go back to Orlando to check in with Jonathan Coachman. He'll have a look back at our first half, as well as a look ahead to what's coming up later this weekend. Back to throw now on first down. Over the middle here to Brown. And they'll get this well past midfield before being stopped just before the 35. A really good pickup of 28 yards.
I think it all came together there. In-breaking route, drove it with excellent pace. Money throw right there to move the sticks.
On first down, he'll drop to throw. That is caught right at the 10-yard line. And he's in. Touchdown, Steelers. As his guys are in for 6. And the Steelers have now made this a one-score game. So that's the rookie's first trip to the end zone, and I think it's safe to say one he'll always remember.
Oh, without a doubt. That one is going to be imprinted forever. And nowadays, we're seeing rookies make a greater impact at that position at receiver than ever before. I think mainly because of the sheer volume of footballs that they catch in college.
And an alley to run. He's got daylight. 20. And he will score. Touchdown, Cincinnati. In for the score. And the Bengals add on to their lead. Such an electric play. So much fun to watch. And you need all 11 guys in sync for that to be successful, don't you?
Without a doubt. That's teamwork, to be able to put it all together. But that play is really probably the most exciting 10 seconds in football.
And quite a bit of razzle-dazzle and electricity on that return. It goes for 97 yards. So now the other return teams out there, as they'll try to duplicate what they just saw. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. And we put our focus now on Le'Veon Bell. He's just been looking for some space. I'm not going to pin it on him or the offensive line, but they need to get this run game going better.
Sometimes you just have to credit the defense. They came in with a plan themselves. So I think now you try and mix things up a little bit. Get the ball in the hands of some other people, find some other playmakers, but always let the defense believe that he's still a threat.
I was going to say, don't forget about it.
No, don't take him totally out of the game.
And he connects with Vance McDonald. And they're going to have this across midfield and inside the 45. Now the Steelers use the first of their 3 timeouts, as they'll stop it with a tick under a minute to go before half. They'll look to throw here on first down. Throwing to the side here, and it's complete. And they'll wind up getting this one all the way down inside the 20. And now before this first down play, we're going to get a timeout here, as they get the stoppage with a little over 50 seconds to go in the first half. A first opportunity for the Steelers in the red zone. 1st and 10 at the 19. Back to throw. And caught in the end end zone. Touchdown, Steelers. As his guys are in for 6. And the Steelers are able to make this a close game again.
I think everyone in the league talks about finishing, don't they? Doesn't matter whether it's a quarter, a half, a game, a series, whatever. But they're finishing the first half in fine style, putting that one in the end zone.
They did, and they didn't leave much time on the clock either. Well done. This fielded at the 2. And he's loose again. And all the way in for a Cincinnati score. In for the score. And the Bengals are able to grow their lead.
I can't help it, partner. I get fired up. 2 kickoff returns for touchdowns in the same game. This is fun to watch.
Yeah, we call a lot of games in a lot of different places. Sometimes it seems like we do it simultaneously, but we rarely get to see this. So let's try this again. After the kick return TD, here's yet another kickoff. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. And Pittsburgh getting set to take the field. And what do you think goes on here in this situation? If you got the football, you're trailing, you're back in your own territory with just a little time. Do you try something?
You're thinking about jump-starting your team, right? You just mentioned it. They're down. They're trying to get back into the game. But you got to figure, if something goes wrong, you may have put yourself in a spot where you may not be able to come back in the second half. Managing risk, this is a big decision here.
Here's 2nd and 7 now from the 28.
All right, here we go.
On the counter, here's Bell. And able to break one tackle, but then quickly brought down. And now the Bengals are going to call another timeout, as they'll stop it with 25 seconds to go here in half number 1. And the Steelers on 3rd down. 0 for 3 to this point. They could use a conversion. Here it's 3rd and 3.
Green, 39.
They'll look to throw here. And he finds McDonald. And they're going to have this across midfield and inside the 45. Now whistles come in. We're going to get a timeout here by the offense, as they stop it with 19 seconds to go in half number 1.
Hurry up, here we go. 3-19.
Now back to throw. Oh, he got position on him, and he pulls it in. Chewing up big yardage. Another nice gain there. This one goes for 20. So even though it's 1st down, here's the field goal unit on now to try to get 3 before halftime. So we have reached halftime here, and it's the visiting. All right, hang on. We'll jump over halftime. Now McManus on to kick this one off. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. The Bengal offense now with a football first here to begin quarter number 3. They built a good first half lead. Now they have a chance to add on to it.
And what I'm thinking is that the offensive staff spent the entire halftime just working with them on, here's what we think they're going to do to attack us in the second half. Nice first half that we've had, guys, but be prepared for some change-ups. We're going to see them when we kick it off in the second half.
See how they handle any adjustments that might be made defensively. Back to Mixon on 1st down. And he'll be brought down. Oh, that's a face mask. Certainly looked like it. Indeed, here come the flags.
Personal foul, face mask, defense.
So that flag will cost him 15.
And it doesn't matter anymore how you get the face mask. Any part of it, that's going to be 15 yards.
They'll drop to throw. He's just going to dump this one off to his fullback out of the backfield. And he'll be a couple yards shy of the red zone here at the 22-yard line. It's a gain of 9 yards. And it'll be 2nd and about a yard to go for the first.
Over.
Now Joe Mixon. And he's going to lose yardage and be backed up to the 25. It's a loss of 2, now 3rd down.
No, check, Patriot.
They give to Mixon to try to pick it up. And he will have the first down across the 20 to the 19-yard line. They get 6 on the pickup there as the drive will continue. From the red zone now, they'll look to throw. And he's got his big tight end, Eifert, and it's a Bengal touchdown. Tyler Eifert, his 2nd touchdown on the season, and the Bengals add on to their lead. Still plenty of time left in the game, but now starting to pull away a little bit, get some breathing room with that one.
And I don't want people to think that NFL locker rooms are cookie cutter, that everyone's saying the exact same thing in every situation. But I do know that all 32 teams have an emphasis on starting fast. Game, the second half, no matter what. Well, his first 5 minutes, first 3, whatever. This was a big score to start the second half.
And he'll make it across the 20 as his guys will set up shop at the 23-yard line. Time for the Steelers offense now to get set for their first possession of half number 2. They trail offense, first time to touch the ball in quarter 3, and we'll see what they can do.
And I can't wait to see what they have planned, because some teams script to start a half. Other teams just go, okay, these are the sequence.
And he fires one that's intercepted. Picked off at the 28. And his guys are going to get the football at the 28-yard line. That's now a 2nd interception in as many weeks from his linebacker position.
And think about all the different techniques he has to employ in a passing situation. Is he spot dropping because it's zone? Is he picking up man-to-man? Is he having to run with a running back or a tight end? In any event, great eyes, head on a swivel, and excellent hands.
Yeah, versatility and showing those hands. They'll come out throwing here to start the drive. And he slings one that's incomplete. His big tight end, Tyler Eifert, the intended receiver. And now it's 2nd down.
Let's face it, perfection is something we all chase, whether it's playing this game or whatever we do. Hard to attain, but that's what they were searching for as that pass goes incomplete.
Running left, it's Mixon. A big hitter there, a first down gain of 26 yards.
But for a running back, that kind of encompasses everything right there. Terrific run, but he almost gets into the end zone. Remember, almost, didn't quite get there. Most running backs I know, they don't want to come out of the game now. They're screaming to the bench, call it again, I want to get into the end zone.
Mixon trying to punch it in. And he takes it into the end zone. Touchdown, Bengals. A great effort there with touchdown number 2 in the game and now 11 on the year. And the Bengals use the short field to their advantage as they cash in for 6. Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. Sutton now to return. And he'll get it up to about the 26-yard line just across the 25. And Pittsburgh getting set to take the field. And last time wasn't pretty. One play and an interception. We'll see if they can do better.
I want to see if they want to go ahead and throw the ball again now on this drive after what happened on the last one. Throw it on the first play. Give the quarterback some confidence.
See what happens. He couldn't quite hold it. Got hit. Ball pops out. Incomplete.
It's a lot of contact going on there, and in the end, unable to keep 2 hands on the football and bring it into his body.
Everything looked pretty good until the finish.
3-19.
They'll run it now out of the gun. No gain on that one as it brings up a 3rd and 10.
Well, it hasn't been a whole lot of fun for Le'Veon Bell in this ball game trying to find room to run the ball. I'm sure they're going to have to change some things up because he's so versatile. They've got to get the ball in his hands somehow and create some space because they're losing this game.
Well, defensively, you've got to key in on Bell, make him the focal point to stop, and they've been able to do that.
And he has gotten better every year he's been in the league, always adding something to his game, one of the premier runners in the NFL. A short game that doesn't get him the first down brings up a 4th down situation.
Really nice job defensively. They knew where the sticks were. They got the stop before it. Joe Mixon and the rest of his offense making their way back onto the field. And he's closing in on that number that all running backs circled beginning of the year, the number 1,000. Could do it on this drive.
And you have to think to yourself that this moment, getting to this spot, it started in the offseason, right? Not just the workouts, right? Not just getting yourself physically prepared to play, but mentally, as well as your team, as well as your unit, head coach, offensive coordinator. We run the football. We give you opportunities. He's taking advantage of it.
And when you get this close to the mark, you just hope things don't tighten up, right? You probably want to get there and get it in your rearview mirror.
You really do, don't you? Because now it becomes predominant, and you wonder about play calling as well. Do you want to call plays to get that out of the way, or are you still calling plays to win the game first? That becomes the burden of the play caller.
12 yards that time, and a Cincinnati first down.
They're trying to show that they can run the ball and protect this lead. Give it to the backs, play a little bit of keep away, don't you think?
And that's probably a good philosophy at this point, going to make that defense stand up and stop him. Escaping the pressure right. And incomplete as he was knocked as he threw it. And it took the ball off course.
Different pass rushes are designed for different things. Sometimes you want to keep the quarterback in the pocket. Sometimes you want him to flush. I don't know exactly how this one was designed, but they made sure they moved him to his right. He got out of the pocket. Unfortunately for him, he was hit as he tried to throw the ball, and that resulted in an incompletion.
Now he'll look to throw here on 2nd and 10. That's going to be caught by Ross for a Bengal touchdown. As his guys are in for 6, and the Bengals have got it on cruise control. And it was a tight window. He knew he had to rocket that thing in there. He got it done.
And when you're able to complete one like that, your confidence has to just go sky high. You just mentioned it. Tight window, zings it in there despite excellent coverage. Result, touchdown.
Sutton now to return. Ooh, with a juke. And he'll take this up past the 20 and down at the 22-yard line. And Pittsburgh getting set to take the field. And down on the scoreboard, certainly needing to avoid what happened on the last drive, punting the football.
Sense of urgency has to take over for them here. They know the score. They know the situation. And by the way, the punter no longer exists for their offense.
And that's caught inside the 35. And all the way down to the 29. It's a big play there for the Steelers. 49 yards.
Usually hitting a deep post pattern, as we just saw there, for a big gainer, that's tough to do because you usually have a safety or two in the middle of the field. But if you hit enough crossers and underneath routes and curls, you start to get those guys creeping up, wanting to make plays on the football. It's the equivalent of a changeup in baseball. You show your other stuff, throw the changeup, and on that play, it worked for big yardage. It's always a battle. Who's going to win on first down, the offense or the defense? Let's face it, if you've got the ball, 4 yards or more on first down is what you're aiming for. They tried to throw for it there. Nice effort to knock that one away and bring up 2nd down.
And incomplete there. A nice hit. Jars the ball free and brings up 3rd down.
Anytime a defense can sit back in a zone like that, it tends to create a lot of congestion in the middle of the field. Makes it very hard to slot one in.
Looked like I-4 at rush hour in your hometown of Orlando, Florida. An absolute mess. Trying for Brown, and it's intercepted. Picked off at the 21. And they have the football and will take over at the 24-yard line. So their woes on offense continue. That's the 2nd pick thrown here in the 3rd quarter.
And we know it was ill-advised. But that was an opportunity to help them get back into the game. Instead, he throws another interception, and now their task is even tougher.
And they're able to get this one across the 35. Give them 13 yards on the opening play of the drive and also give them a first down.
Now, this is an example of breaking down a defense because on a lot of these runs, he's getting past the point of attack, and guess what he's doing? Forcing the secondary guys to have to make a lot of tackles.
No, check, Patriot!
Right back to him on first down. He'll get a nice chunk there on the first down run, and it's 2nd and 4. And they're going to speed things up here.
Leopard!
A handoff running left, Mixon. And he'll go down, but not before getting this inside the 30. A big run there, 29 yards and a first. Operating out of Steeler territory now. Here's 1st and 10 as they've got it to the 28-yard line. Back now in Pittsburgh. It's the Bengals in possession of the football and in possession of the lead as well as we start the 4th.
Watch it now, Barney! Barney!
He'll look to throw. Going for it all. Oh, he had 6 points in his hands there. Couldn't hang on. 2nd down. Charles, you said earlier this defense is probably going to need to hold these guys right around 20 or under that if they were going to have a chance. It was evident pretty early on that wasn't going to happen.
Yeah, they left 20 behind a long time ago in this game, didn't they? It looks like they're headed towards a big, big number. But 20 was the threshold because that kept them in the ball game and kept the pressure off of their own offense.
Now a 2nd down throw for the end zone, but it's incomplete. 4th quarter, you've got the big lead. If you're coaching, Charles, you still taking shots like that downfield?
I'd be a little more concerned with running some clock and making sure you're taking care of the lead because you keep flinging it around, you throw a couple of picks, you can put yourself in jeopardy.
And not much of a hole there as he gets it down to about the 24-yard line. 3 yards won't be enough here as that'll bring up 4th down. So now the field goal unit trots out there for the 3rd time tonight. He'll have the win at his back here in the 4th quarter. And his kick is right there. It's good. Now they're sitting pretty now as the lead grows even further. So it's 3 more points, and that widens this thing out even further here in the 4th.
And you know in this league, you can never have enough points, but this widens it out, as you said. And now it's all about ball control, isn't it?
And Pittsburgh getting set to take the field. And there are parts of their last drive they'd like to emulate. And, of course, they'd like to forget the ending, the interception. But they did put together, Charles, a nice sustained drive to get him down the field.
Yeah, and unfortunately for them, the only thing that matters is part 2, right? Because once they threw the interception and finished off the drive, that does them no good to go back and say, well, you know what, a good one going. Finish things off. That's the only way you can get it done.
The drive starting with a 1st down, 11 yards on that pickup.
And there's a man they call AB, always a volume receiver. He gobbles up catches. Holds a number 2 and number 4 spots for most receptions in a season in NFL history. And in 2015, just 7 catches shy of setting the single-season mark for most receptions, currently held by Marvin Harrison, a Hall of Famer.
He had 136 catches that year on the heels of 129 the season before.
Sometimes the coverage is so good, no matter what you're doing on offense, you just can't shake anyone free. They try their best to find someone open, but they took away every passing alley, every angle, and shut the play down.
And for a 3rd time tonight, he's intercepted. He's picked off just shy of midfield. There he goes right side. And he will score. Touchdown, Cincinnati. Well, you start to feel sorry now for the young man throwing the football. This is really turning into a disaster.
Listen, it's baptism. All right, this is almost a rite of passage. This young in the league, go back and find a Hall of Fame quarterback and check their records for their first 2 years, especially if they started the bulk of the games. I'll bet you'll find double-digit interceptions on just about every one of them. They have to learn as they go along.
And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. The Steelers offense now, they head back onto the field. They are looking to make a bit of a 180. They are sputtering right now.
And frankly, I think it's time to call your playmakers together and say, all right, guys, we're going to lean on you through this patch. We need you to get us back on track and get us going in the right direction. So you're calling plays geared to them. Not necessarily what you look at your plays, oh, this hurts the defense. I want the ball in the hands of X, Y, and Z and see if we can move forward.
So don't get too cute. Go to the playmakers. And he's certainly been a huge factor in this when he's got the 2 touchdowns to his credit. Now they look to him again. He picks up the 1st.
Yeah, I can hear everyone saying, well, why don't you cover him, double him, triple him, do what you have to do. But sometimes they get locked into such a groove and such a connection, it doesn't matter how many guys are in his area.
He certainly looks to be in that groove right now. Throwing on 1st down, but this one winds up to be incomplete. Here now is 2nd and 10, again from the 41.
All right, here we go. Green, 39.
They'll run it now out of the gun. He'll take this from the 40 up to the 45 for a gain of 5.
That second down play call was not to pick up the first down. It was to accomplish what they did, to get them into a manageable third down, because they had incompletion on first down, so they were behind the sticks, so to speak. They needed to make up some ground, and they did.
Out of the gun now on third down. And almost intercepted. That would have been his third pick in this game alone. Instead, fourth down.
Not only was the call spot on, how about the execution of that defense right there? The zone was absolutely locked up tight. He was trying to force it in there on third down.
But if there's a time to force it, he felt like he needed to make a play, right?
Yeah, exactly right. Third down, you got to try and find something. There's nothing available there for him.
Watch you now, Barney. Barney. No. Check. Patriot.
Here's Joe Mixon as they start on the ground. And he'll get about 3 here as he's out to the 30. And when do they start thinking about burning these timeouts? They've got all 3 still defensively.
To me, you have to start right now. Here's the time, and that means you've got to stop them on defense, not give up the yardage, use your timeouts in order to get the ball back and try and score yourself. But now is the time to start using those timeouts.
And keep in mind, it'll also stop the clock at the 2-minute warning. 8 yards on the pickup there, and it moves the sticks.
Do my eyes deceive me, or is he getting stronger as this game moves along?
Burst seems just as good here in the fourth as it was way back in the first, doesn't it?
I do believe someone put a lot of time in the offseason and continues to condition during the season in order to continue to carry the ball at this rate.
And getting this just shy of midfield, they'll spot it at the 49. 12 yards that time and a Cincinnati first down.
He's still rumbling, isn't he? Still looking fresh in this one despite the heavy workload. But you and I both know, well-conditioned, and he did tell us that he thrives on being at his peak late in ball games.
They'll look to throw. He finds Ross right side. It's complete. And he goes down, but not before getting this inside the 25. A very solid gain of 27. Looking to throw. And he'll be out of bounds as he gets this down to about the 21 or 22. The completion good for 3, and it's second down.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride, and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before he could get a good head of steam going.
That first down completion only netted him 3. Second and 7. They go back to the ground now with Mixon. Open space inside the 10. And he gets it all the way down to the 3. That one good for 17 yards, and now they've got it first and goal. And what can they do here on second and goal? 3 red zone trips so far have yielded 2 touchdowns and a field goal. He'll look to throw, and his throw is going to be incomplete.
And that's one he's got to be happy to have back. There wasn't a hole open in the zone.
You'd have to think on early downs like that first down there, need to be a little bit more careful.
Yeah, fortunately for him, got a couple more downs to play with.
They'll go again from the 3 here on second and goal. They come out here in the eye. Here's a run with Mixon. And the D not yielding much there. He's only going to get a yard to about the 2. Time for a break. Back to finish it off on EA Sports after this. So the Bengals in possession of the football here as we get you reset. They've got it third and goal here as they try to finish off their victory. He'll drop to throw. Oh, it's a touchdown if he holds on. Instead, it's fourth down.
But he'll definitely say that that's one he should have held on to. But when you're playing in elements like this, sometimes those bullet passes, those runs with a little bit of pace on them, they can be difficult to hold on to.
They run for it with Mixon. And he will get into the end zone. It's another touchdown. This thing is ugly.
Is it okay if I break one of our rules, partner, which is to never call a game over until it's over? because this certainly feels like it's over after that drive.
Yeah, that was spirit-crushing, wasn't it? And now you just kind of felt the air go out of the balloon.
Yeah, they were fighting so hard to stay in there, and they knew they had to stop them on that drive. But when they were unable to, I think you're exactly right. You could see them sag on their sideline, and I think this one might just be over.
And Pittsburgh getting set to take the field. They are just obviously getting shellacked here in this one, Charles. What's the message if you're a coach for this final drive in a lopsided game like this?
For a lot of coaches,
be honest.
Don't forget today. Don't forget what has happened out here.
Yeah, use that as ammo going forward.
Exactly. Take a great look at that scoreboard. Realize how poorly everything went for us today. Coaching, playing, the whole deal. And never forget it, because
you're not going to want that feeling again.
No, you don't want that feeling again. And who knows? You may meet up with this team again.
Back to throw now on 2nd and 10. And the hit jarred it loose. It's incomplete.
It is tough to complete passes against zone defenses. The windows that you see open, they shrink pretty rapidly. How about being able to hit a moving target against a zone before the next guy can get there and make a play on the ball?
Not easy for any quarterback. No matter the situation there, the defense won the battle. Looking left side, and it's complete. It'll be a gain of 17 and a Pittsburgh first. What a throw right there for the first down. He has taken some real punishment in this game, but still standing in the pocket completing that one.
He's a flat-out warrior. There's no question about that. How about him stepping up into the teeth of the rush and delivering there for that big strike and that big pickup?
Back to throw here. It's a short one here, complete to the tight end. And he'll be taken down at the 46-yard line. That throw good for 4. It's 2nd down.
And, partner, I think that's a great example that not all tight ends are created equal, because everything was right. Got the completion, but he's not one of the more dynamic guys in the league. So even though he caught it, couldn't turn it into much more.
And incomplete there. A nice hit. Jars the ball free and brings up 3rd down.
This defense was definitely alert to the possibility of the deep ball, and they were more than ready for it.
They've got the lead, 4th quarter. Maybe can expect more passes like that downfield. On play action, they'll throw. Now a desperation throw deep downfield. And he couldn't hang on to it through the contact. Incomplete.
You hear the calls for a penalty, but I just don't think so. I think in this situation, the defender was making sure his guy couldn't hold on to the football. So I don't see anything that warranted a flag.
No, I'm with you. There was contact, but I'm happy they kept that flag in the back pocket. A great return there of 22 yards. And the Bengals will take over here 1st and 10. Cincinnati now ready to take the field. And this game comfortably in hand. The scoreboard speaks for itself, but you still got your starting quarterback out there. When do you go to the backup? Let him get some time.
And that's one of the great questions in the NFL, Brandon, because I'm just going to tell you, in the 2015 season, I commentated on 3 games in a row that were blowouts. And in none of them did the starting quarterback ever come out of the game for the team that had a big lead. And in each instance, I asked the coaches later on, why didn't you do that? And they all looked at me and said, just don't really do that in the NFL. These guys play, and we just play them all the way through. Now, in certain situations, they won't take them out, but for the most part, they're not as worried and concerned about getting them out of the game. And that's always puzzled me a little bit.
So time to start going in the other direction as they come up now 3rd and long.
Over!
Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. Nowhere to go here. He lost the football. And it's picked up by the Steelers. And he's going to be taken down here with a penalty flag on the field.
Holding. Defense.
Of course, they have the option, and they choose to not take the penalty.
They like the results of the play that they just ran, and they elect to let them stand.
Hurry up, here we go. 3-19.
They'll set up to throw. And he'll avoid the tackle there with a slide. It'll be a gain of 6, and it'll be a 2nd down.
No. Check. Patriot. All right, here we go. Blue 90.
Out of the the gun. They'll look to throw. And this is caught. Well, they get one back. Picking up the late touchdown here, but still down big.
That's a whole lot of points still to be down. But congratulations, they're still fighting, and they scored another touchdown.
My old high school coach used to say, Charles, he said, sometimes you win, sometimes you lose, and sometimes you wish you never had showed up.
Could have saved the gas money, the hotel, what have you, huh?
The point after through the raindrops, up and good, as they make the score just a slight bit more respectable here in the final quarter of play. Now McManus on to kick this one off. This will be fielded at the 6. Now a hit and a loose football. And it's picked up by the Steelers. And they will take over at the 26-yard line.
As that ball got away from him, and he saw the opposing team recover it.
You felt his pain?
Oh, I felt his pain, and you know what was going through his head. Tuck it away. Take care of the ball. All the things he hears all week in practice, he didn't care.
And for the 4th time tonight, it's an interception. Picked up by Jesse Bates. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. Well, Charles, the forecast called for rain throughout the entire game, and we got rain throughout the entire game. But these two teams, they had fun getting dirty out there. They love the slop.
Did you trust the forecast ahead of time? Are you one of those guys that's skeptical about it, or did you trust it?
But when I saw just a big blob of green on the radar, I said, okay, let's trust.
Yeah, and that's why I'm glad you took my advice. Got your notes laminated, because